You're watching Power Media Network.
I could be running or I'm chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, life. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. But you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play. You couldn't handle the ways around your magic and your side.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday, Junior. I'm Nicole Vick, Dr. Nicole Vick, Dr. Nicole D. Vick. Let's get it right. Dr. Nicole D. Vick, host of Nicole D. Vick Live. I'm so happy to be here. I know last month I was off camera for, a couple of episodes. We'll talk about all of that in a minute, because it's a lot going on. Now, every week, I bring to you important topics in the Black community from a social justice perspective. Really happy to be back and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. It's July, y'all. The year is moving so fast. I say that every single time. I thought I was going to have a hot girl summer. It didn't happen that way. And we're going to talk about that too. You know how they say, we plan and God laughs. It's kind of that kind of thing, right? Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I got this outfit, got that outfit, and God, universe, whatever you believe, was like, no, girl, you finna sit down. You finna sit right down, and that's what happened. I have a lot to talk about, but before I do, I want to get into my nail cam. I love my nails, and so I was able to continue to do my nails through June, not as often because of my injury. So let's look through. See, I was so happy then. See the happiness in my face? And I'm going to say this look right here, I literally did that look right before I fell and broke my ankle. So I sat here and did my nails at this very table and did that look. And then maybe an hour later, boom, ankle just broke down. I took about a 2-week break, and then I did these nails, an ombre look with the neon polish, which I really like, really cute and simple. So I was keeping my looks really simple during this time. And so I'm still doing my nails. I have a new look on for this week, but I think I'm going to move into like a every other week type of thing, just because it's a lot of work getting the wheelchair in here to get into this space to do my nails. But once I'm in the chair, it's like any other time when I do my nails. But anyway, I feel like it's really important in my healing journey to do things that make me happy, and that's what I plan to continue to do. So those are the June nail looks. As a matter of fact, when I went to the ER, the guy was like, "Oh, your nails are so cute." I'm like, "Can you fix my ankle and stop looking at my fingers?" But anyway, All right, y'all. So that's the nail looks for June. Yay! Thank you for indulging me in that. So there was a holiday, I think last week, some kind of holiday, something about independence. I don't even know because my Independence Day is June 19th. I don't know about nobody else. Something about independence. But that holiday, that independence, whatever that was, plus my injury, really got me thinking about maintaining my autonomy and my independence as I age. I'm not old, first of all, let's be clear. I am not old. I don't claim that, but I am getting older. Let's be real, right? And there are some unique challenges and triumphs and things that Black women face as we get older. And, things like societal expectations, beauty standards, health disparities, all sorts of things. And I want to kind of explore that this month with y'all and talk about sort of what happened to me and why it got me thinking about aging and getting older and being independent. And then I'm going to talk about some of the issues after the break around like things that are kind of contributing to concerns that Black women have as they get older. Okay. So let's just be real. Let me spill the tea. I know a lot of people, when I first broke my ankle, I shared and talked about it a lot on Instagram, but I didn't necessarily say what happened. So if all of y'all want to know what happened, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Okay. June 8th, minding my business in my house. I had done a board meeting, I had done my nails, and I was trying to I have been doing some work in my house. Andrea has moved. A lot of you know that she moved. She's in Arizona. So I'm reclaiming the space that she was in, making it how I want it. I'm also thinking about, my bedroom and, just kind of trying to redo things and freshen up the house and change some things up. And so a long time ago, I had a dresser. I still have it. And the OG dressers back in the day when you have bedroom sets have a mirror usually attached, right? A large mirror attached to the back of the dresser. I had moved my dresser to my window, in front of my window. If you put a dresser in front of a window, you don't need the mirror there. Why would you put a mirror and block the window? So I took the mirror off. And that mirror sat in my room behind the door for like 3, 4, 5, maybe even longer years. Just sat there. And again, as I'm trying to spruce up the house, I'm trying to get rid of things. And so I said, okay, it's time to throw this mirror away. Because, in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I'll sell it one day and it should go together. Who cares, right? Just throw the mirror away. You don't use it. It's sitting here. It's taking up space. Throw it away. Okay. The mirror is considered a bulky item. The city of Los Angeles says you can put that outside for bulky item pickup, but you have to put cardboard over the mirror and tape it up. Makes sense. Because what if the mirror breaks and it cuts the employee? The city now has an injured city employee. So it's to protect the workers, right? So I'm like, okay, y'all know me. I'm always moving. I'm always doing something that could have waited. But I was like, I was just going to do it right now. And then I must put it outside. So the mirror's on the floor. I'm standing over the mirror. And that packing tape. So I'm doing this, but I'm bent at the waist. Taping this mirror up like, yeah. Mew Mew's walking around. So I'm bent over. And then when I come up to stand upright, I kind of maybe moved too fast. And my center of gravity kind of got a little bit discombobulated. And I know y'all know as an adult, when you know you're about to fall, it's like everything is in slow motion because you're trying to figure out how I'm going to get up out of this because I do not want to go down, right? So I'm in slow motion, feeling myself stumble. I'm trying to figure out why I can't get my footing. Like, what's going on? And I'm looking around like, let me try to grab onto something to break my fall. There's literally nothing. Now, my bed was behind me. And in hindsight, maybe I should have threw myself back. I don't know. But anyway, there was nothing there. And so when I tumbled, my ankle kind of rolled. I was like, ooh, this ain't it. So that's how I broke my ankle, y'all. It's not an exciting story. I didn't jump, over a fence trying to escape something. I was in the house and just made a misstep. Ankle just, boom. Ankle said bye, boo, boo. My brother came and took me to the hospital. That was a whole ordeal. Again, thinking about what happens when you age in your home, and you're not married or have a partner, you're by yourself. Who's coming to help you? How are they going to get in the house? If they don't have a key and your ankle's broken, are you going to crawl to the front door? What are you doing? So there's all these very interesting things that happen to me. I won't go into too much detail, but I will say this as well. Something else for all of us to consider, especially as Black women as we age, our health insurance. I have an HMO. I tell everybody I know right now, if you are my age or older, immediately, if you can, get out of that HMO and get into a PPO, because there's too many steps. I went to the ER Saturday. I had to go call my primary care physician on Monday to make an appointment to get authorization to see an orthopedist. Okay, and then you got to schedule an appointment for the orthopedist. And then the orthopedist says, "Ooh, this is a bad injury. I can't help you. I'm going to refer you to another specialist." And then you got to make that appointment. And then, so there's all these different crazy, like, they're probably not crazy, but the fact that, it just takes a lot of time and persistence. And if you don't feel good and you're trying to navigate life now, you can't walk, you can't drive, you can't get out of your house. It causes a level of anxiety, a level of stress. And so you're dealing with that, but then now you got to call the insurance company and ask them what's the problem, right? So there's just been a lot of that going on with me. I have adjusted to my injury. I can get around my house now in this wheelchair. I only had crutches at first. Crutches are hard, woo, but you literally have to relearn everything. How do you bathe? How do you use the restroom? Who gonna take care of my hair? I had to have someone come and help me. Thankfully, she helped me wash my hair so I could braid it away and put it away. Like, there's all these things. Cooking. Do you cook sitting down in the wheelchair? Do you lock the wheelchair and try to stand up and cook? Like, all these interesting things. So again, that and July being that month of the independence thing made me think about, dang, what happens when I'm 65 and, and I'm alone in the house, and how am I going to take care of myself? And my daughter, she's like, "Mom, so, I can't even leave you at home now. You over here breaking ankles and things." So just some really interesting things that have really popped up for me in this moment. But I'm going to talk to you guys after the break about some of the unique challenges that I hadn't even really considered around Black women when they age. Someone earlier today asked about, like, what do you do when your children get older and leave the house? And I'm like, hey, I can talk about that too. So I'll be able to touch on that as well. But let's go ahead to a commercial break, and then we'll get to part 2 of this conversation.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
Elevate your entertainment with Watch Vim. Discover the ultimate online streaming destination. Get an auto-renewing monthly subscription for unlimited content on all devices. Join us in supporting a Black-owned streaming platform that brings top-tier entertainment. Let the streaming excitement begin at Watch Vim, your seamless experience for endless entertainment. Stream online or download the Watch Vim app now.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight radio.
This Wi-Fi, AT&T, I'm calling you out right now, live. You played in my face, AT&T, and I don't understand why. So please excuse me, y'all, with this Wi-Fi. I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully you can at least still hear me as I'm talking. So part 2 of this conversation, I came across an article called Navigating Solo Aging, the Unique Challenges Black Women Face. And this article was by Elizabeth White. And Elizabeth White actually interviewed 15 Black women about being solo agers. So, you know, look up that term, solo agers. And she asked some important questions and got some really important key findings about solo agers. So excuse me if it looks like I'm reading, because I am. And I'll make sure I get some of this information accurately. So back in 2022 and 2023, Elizabeth White engaged 15 Black women between the ages of 54 to 73. So a little bit older than me, right? In small groups. So she did like focus groups about their experiences and attitudes as solo agers. The median income for this group was $70,000. 4 out of 15 of them were divorced, 2 were widowed, and 9 had never been married. 5 of them had adult children, and 1 had a teenager. And all with children hoped to avoid having to depend upon their children or care or have them care for them as they age. And I think that's something that even for me, I'm like, I don't want Andrea to have to be worried about her mama, but clearly I didn't do it too well so far because I broke my ankle. Now she's like, I can't even leave you at home by yourself because you do things like break your ankle. What is wrong with you? Anyway, but I can understand that sentiment, right? So one of the things that came up in this research that was actually very interesting to me is that um, there's a lot of research that has been done on Black women in general about some of their issues, but there's not a lot around this whole idea of being a Black woman and being a solo ager. What they have been finding is that there are significant economic and social challenges in Black women as they age in their later years. And they're more likely to rely upon government assistance programs and to experience poverty, lack of social support, and health disparities. Um, there's some findings that are shown that say that Black women agers nearing retirement are at a higher risk of becoming old and poor in America, with median wealth for single college educated Black women older than age 60 being significantly lower, $11,000, than that of married Black women, $424,000, or unmarried white women, $384,000 in the same age and education bracket. Okay. So I think that's something to really think about. You know, I'm the public health person, and we know that being financially stable is a very important public health issue. Poverty is a key indicator of poor health. If you are poor, and this is unfortunate, I hate this. If you are poor, you are more likely to have poor health. Okay. So if you are a Black solo ager, a Black woman that is aging alone, and you are in poverty, you are more likely to have poor health. So this is a really, 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 really important topic. So what I want to talk about now are the root causes this week. And next week, I'm going to have a guest on, and we're going to talk about, so I was kind of focused on independence, and it's funny because she has a podcast and she was posting something and she talked about interdependence. And I was like, we need to have a conversation because I feel like our topics are sort of overlapping. So I'm going to have her on. But today, before we go, I want to talk about the root causes of the challenges that Black women solo agers face. Okay. First of all, let's be real. There is a lifetime of racial discrimination and gender bias that causes that issue around poverty, that really, causes structural barriers to show up for Black women as they age. So things like lower levels of employment, lower levels of pay, low educational attainment, and wealth accumulation are really, really huge barriers. So several factors come up. One of them was lower marriage rates. Lower marriage rates among Black women have a significant impact on their ability to save and get ahead financially. Women who only have their own resources to rely upon are often more economically vulnerable than their married counterparts. And Black women in particular face significant wage gaps and health disparities. The interesting thing is, though, in this study, remember I said she interviewed 15 women, only three of them really aspired to be married. I think the other ones are like, we good, because I think they're also aware of some of the challenges of being married. And also the reality is, in some instances, your spouse may pass before you do or become injured before you do. So you end up still being the sole income earner in the house. So it's some interesting dynamics, but lower income or lower marriage rates can also be really a barrier to being able to be financially stable and economically stable as you age. Okay. The second one that they talked about in this study is the gender wage gap. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, now this is huge, a typical Black woman working a full-time year-round job earns 63 cents for every dollar earned by a white non-Hispanic man. This wage disparity results in lost pay of $24,110 annually, or nearly $1 million over a 40-year career. So you were already put at a disadvantage because of that gender wage gap. Okay. Research conducted by the National Partnership for Women and Families shows the negative impact of the gender wage gap on a Black woman's ability to afford essentials such as food. So we have a situation of food insecurity, rent. So then we have a housing issue, especially if you don't own your home, mortgage payments, if you own your home, health insurance, and child care. This lost income also hinders her ability to establish an emergency fund. really, really important. Something like an injury or a car accident, or your car stops working and you don't have an emergency fund to pull upon, can really set you back. So those are some of the things that have really come up as barriers. Other things, occupational segregation. So Black women hold jobs in all industries, all levels. We get to management and leadership, yes, but we are disproportionately represented in low wage jobs in industry like retail, hospitality, food service. A lot of those industries do not have pensions. Their pay is low. Again, you can't save. So that also could be an issue as well. Education and the racial pay gap. We are actually one of the most educated groups of people in the population. A lot of us love to get degrees. There was that quote like, Black women get bored, we go back to school. We, oh, get a degree. And we do, right? But even with that high level of educational attainment, we still are typically paid less than other counterparts. Like, what does it say here? Black women are paid lower wages than white men, African American men, and white women at every level of education. Okay. I was looking at something that said that we make less than a white man with a high school diploma. If a Black woman has a college degree, she still can make less than a white man with a college degree. So those are some other barriers. Also being sole provider and caretaker. So if everything is on that one income, and dependent on that one income from that Black woman, it can really take a toll on her ability to save and to navigate her life as she ages. The stress from just being in America, the stress from racism and discrimination leads to health disparities. We often have a higher incidence of disease, which puts a burden on our health and our healthcare and access to healthcare. Those things also can play a role. So I really just want to impress upon you that there are so many things that are working against us as we age. Again, if we're the sole income earner and everything is dependent on us, that can be a huge barrier. It causes us not to be able to kind of rest, not, oh, somebody else can take care of this for a minute. No, it's all on us. And that can be very stressful. In regards to, and we're getting ready to close out shortly, in regards to the comment I saw earlier when I posted about this episode, someone asking about aging as your children age, right? And leave the nest, right? And you become an empty nester, but you're literally an empty nester by yourself. There definitely are some challenges because on the one hand, your child is growing older and becoming more independent, but as a parent, you still are in some respects helping to support their livelihood. You may be sending them off to college and helping to pay for that. And those kinds of things, although you want to support your children as you should, can also help or can hinder, you from saving up for your retirement or contributing as much as you can to your pension or to your IRA account or to other things. And so those are also very real barriers or very real considerations, right? How much can you help your children as they become adults, but also being mindful of taking care of yourself as well. Does that make sense? And so in addition to that, how much do you lean on your adult children to try to help you out? Like, dang, mom, I can't, like my daughter, I can't even leave you by yourself. You over here breaking things and stuff, right? And so it's a very challenging space. But from what I understand from the financial experts, it's really important for folks to make sure they have enough money in retirement, because if your money runs out before you run out, right? You get what I'm saying? Then it becomes a challenge, and then you end up still being a burden to your children because then they have to figure out how to take care of you. So there's so many things to be worried about, and I don't really know what the answers are, except that if you are able to begin talking to a financial planner, to start to think about how you can put things in place for yourself. I know people say that Social Security won't be around by the time we retire. So how do we plan for that? it's really, really important to start to think through those things. And I know it's not possible for everyone to even think about it. But one thing that even came out of this study that I was reading was that you see women in their 60s and their 70s in re-entering the workforce because they're not able to maintain their standard of living on whatever pension or whatever money that they have. Maybe their spouse has passed. And so they have to re-enter the workforce to make money to cover their basic living expenses. And I really hate that that is a reality for a lot of our seniors. They shouldn't have to do that. But what choices are they left with, especially in an economy that we are in right now? So I want to continue this conversation into next week and start to think about things that, you know, are some tangible solutions. One thing I've seen people talk about is sort of these, I don't know what to call them, but where maybe single seniors live together and pool their resources together. Maybe they buy a house together, or they buy, you know, some kind of property, and they live together and support each other in some way that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Dr. Josie. This is such an important topic. Yes, thanks for talking about it. Awareness and planning for the future are critical. Yes, because it's like, if you don't plan well and your money runs out before you run out, like what are you left to sort of deal with? But there are some solutions, like I just mentioned, maybe trying to figure out how, hey, let's all live together and support each other and buy an apartment building, or we all just move. Whoever owns the house, we all moving in with you, and we'll just pool our resources and make it happen. Those kinds of things I see are very much becoming reality for a lot of people, and I think it requires us to be really creative, because the reality is a lot of us won't get married. I'm not married. I don't know if it'll happen for me or not. And I'm not going to sit around and wait for it. Like, oh, let me see what's going to happen. Hello, I'm still aging. Even if it happens, I'm still aging as whatever happens for my future. Right. So, yeah. But thank you all for taking the time to listen to this very important topic. Again, next week, I'm going to have a special guest on, and we're going to kind of mesh our two topics together. She was talking about interdependence, and I was talking really about autonomy and independence as we age. And we're going to have a really good conversation around that. All right, y'all. In the meantime, you know where my website is, www.nicoledvick.com. You can find my previous podcast episodes where I was a guest on the podcast. I have a Spotify playlist there. You can find YouTube videos on there where I've been on YouTube and done interviews. You can buy copies of my book off my website. Pushing Through, Finding the Light in Every Lesson is my first one. Push Through, 52 Weeks of Light in Tough Times is the second one. And then the latest one is Triumph in the Trenches. So all of those books are available for purchase on my website. And I still will offer a free gift with that purchase if you make it. I have t-shirts here that are super, super cool. You can follow me on my social media. I'm a little bit more, as I've been saying, active on LinkedIn now, because I feel like it just makes more sense based on kind of where I am in the space that I'm in. I think I've kind of totally disconnected from TikTok. I go on there to be nosy, but I don't go on there to post anything. And then Instagram is where you'll see my nail designs every week. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all keep me in your thoughts and prayers. This leg, I'm sitting here now, and it's just, it's this little splint, just kind of chilling, like, what we finna do? I guess we gonna wait until I can get surgery. So, I didn't say that. We for sure will need surgery. It's not, just put a cast on it, it'll heal. Ankle injuries require screws and plates and things for it to be sort of put back to normal. And it'll take about 6 weeks of recovery time before I can even begin to really even consider putting weight on my foot. I will literally have to learn how to walk again. I've been watching YouTube videos and people with similar injuries and watching them walk and learn how to walk again, because it's going to feel weird to have my foot weight on my foot when this whole time I've literally not been putting weight on it. So I'm in for a journey. And I will say this before I for real leave is, I keep saying to myself, what's the lesson here for me? And I'm not really sure yet. I think patience is one of them. And everybody else is telling me your lesson was to sit your behind down. And I said, dang, why the universe just couldn't tell me? I would have sat down there like, girl, you know you wouldn't, because you don't listen. So I guess I needed to be sat down for some reason. And so I'm sitting down, and yeah. I don't know. But anyway, I will see all of you next week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really happy to be back on camera again. I made it happen. I figured it out. And I'm happy to see you all. All right, y'all. Take care.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.